morning again, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, all those who are listening to us this morning. For my word to the wise is there are so many things to say now that that I can talk about. One of the things is that as we go through this program this morning, we may have some disruption from outside because the noise is all around. Why the noise is all around? Because people are needlessly dispensing of their hard-earned cash behind this foolishness they call Christmas. It is sad. It is sad that you will take your hard-earned money and buy all sorts of finery that you will not have, you did not buy last month or the month before, and you will not be buying next month for a celebration. And then some will say, well, it's celebrating Christ's birthday. But as I was saying to a friend this morning, if you ask the business community, how was Christmas? And they say they had a good Christmas. What they mean by that is that they had a lot of sales. They don't mean that more people came to know Jesus Christ. They didn't mean that more people were joining churches all over the place. They didn't mean that. Even when you ask the very member who's saying to you about this is about Christ, if you ask them, how was Christmas? If they tell you it's good, they mean that they had funding, they had punch creme, they had cake, they had all these things. They had a good Christmas. They will never say, well, oh, it was so spirit-filled and Jesus was in the home and I feel so closer to Christ. And no. So we fool ourselves. And not only we fool ourselves, and the reason I'm saying it to you every Sunday, I will say it until the season is over, because I know your pastors will not tell you that. Because they are part of the indulgence also. So they will not tell you because they like it, but they're in a better position to indulge than you are. And this thing hampers and traumatizes the poor and distress them and stress them out. And they go after it because the church is telling them it's okay. The world seems to be saying to them it's okay. So to them, it is okay. It is okay. And because they all see it as okay, the poor is emaciated because of this thing. I pray to God that sense come from somewhere, that His Spirit be upon people this morning, that they may be free from this festival of Bacchanalia, and they may have more comfort and joy in their homes. May God bless you. A word to the wise is sufficient. Now, this morning, I want to go right into, because as the time gets a little later, the noise will increase. You hear it already outside. The noise will increase. So I want to go right into it. At the end, if we have some time, I will go into the thanks for those who are giving and those who, but right now, I just want to make sure why the noise is low, because I have a distinguished gentleman here with us this morning. Can any good thing come out of Louventil? I don't know. This morning, I have with me the chairman of the Louventil Fondation. I think it's an outgrowth of the Louventil Seventh-day Adventist Church. And this morning, he has consented to be with us this morning and to say what is happening. No, right now, when we speak about a society, and not only Trinidad, the society at large seems to be full of social decadence, from crime to poverty to all these different things are happening. And we ask ourselves time and time again, well, how do we free ourselves from these things? Who are helping? Then we have the news all around us. People keep saying the church is not doing nothing. Like I told a friend, when Mr. Embre reads his budget, there's no money for the church, you know. You don't hear about 10 million going to the church and 25 million. He hates for everybody else. Yet they seem to expect the church to do just as much as the other parts of the community doing. And I'm saying I stand this morning as a very proud Christian to know that the church, and when I say the church, I mean all the churches, have done more, although they did not receive anything, than every single institution we have here on the earth. Every single member is a potential criminal. You know that. But the church have brought them in. So that is one less person who will threaten this society. Every single person in the church. All how much members in 100 and something thousand in Trinidad? There's 100 and something thousand potential criminals that the church have brought in, that have made the society free from this, the threat of 100 and something thousand. So the church is doing a great job. But I want to come and see where people feel that is not happening, and that's why I brought a man coming out of Louventil. And any good thing come from Louventil? I think so. I surely think so. And this morning I want to introduce my friend and brother, Brian Jones, the chairman of the Louventil Foundation. Brian, good morning. You are in the best program in the country this morning.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. Good morning, Pastor Brown.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am okay. You know, sometimes I'm better, but I am okay. I'm okay. There's a young man from your district there. He goes by the name of Kurt James. You know him?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was supposed to get something for me. I seen him on the line right now, so I'm saying it so you could hear what I'm saying.
Don't get me involved with you. I'm a real partner like my son, you know. So don't set me up there at all.
Brian, Louventil Foundation, what is that all about?
Just before I answer that, and good morning to Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the world. Before I answer that, Pastor Brown,
yeah,
flesh and blood, and cause you to say the things you just said about the church and what is the church doing.
Yeah.
I believe strongly with what you just said, and I will take half a minute to say, had not people in this world have a hope of a Christ coming again,
yeah,
and had they not felt they have to live to a certain standard to meet this Christ, all of us would have been people into drugs,
all sorts of
alcohol on the street, and violence.
Yeah.
So there are millions of people, because of their belief, have a hope, and so their behavior is very different because of that hope.
Yes.
That's a very powerful point. I know you're bright, you know, Pastor Brown, soon to be Dr. Brown, but that is a very, very, very incisive point.
Yeah.
Louventil Foundation was set up by the Louventil Seventh-day Adventist Church about 18 years ago. As chairman of Louventil Foundation, I'm a member of the Louventil Church Board. Right? I'm a member of the board for other reasons, but I'm a member of the board. So the board owns Louventil. Louventil Seventh-day Adventist Church is the owner of Louventil Foundation. And Louventil Seventh-day Adventist Church, when we say we do things, we are not only talking about the church and its membership, but we are talking by extension a subsidiary of the church, Louventil Foundation. I was set up over 18 years ago. We have our own board, our own bank account, we are our own legal entity. And the goal is to ensure that people in the Louventil community and beyond are able to be self-sufficient and self-directed as far as they will choose to, based on the programs we expose them to. That is, in essence, is what Louventil is about. Empowering people.
I'm hearing something. I am hearing myself. I don't know. Yeah, I'm hearing. So I'm saying that what you'll do in Louventil, you'll reach out to who? Who's the target audience or a target group in Louventil?
Well, the way we have set it up is that the church takes care of its membership. So we have a two-prong attack. Louventil Adventist Church has a two-prong attack. Internal customer, church members, external customers, members of the community who are not church members. They are dealt with mainly by Louventil Foundation. Okay. So Louventil Seventh-day Adventist Church has a very robust community development program for its membership, right? And then we establish a daily service for the community through Louventil Foundation.
So when you say a daily service, what do you mean a preaching service that they come and they hear you preach and your pastor?
Not at all, not at all. The service is to provide many different aspects. We are focused mainly on youth. We are focused heavily on youth, and we have three corporate sponsors that help us complete these youth programs. One is Republic Bank, Angostura, and now CGA. And what we do, we have very focused programs whereby we are working with young people in schools to teach them life skills. We also help them with homework, pay tutors to teach them. Some of these parents are very underprivileged, so we give them, sponsored by the sponsors, we give them food supplies, counseling, money for transportation. So when you are selected for these programs, our goal is to develop young people who are in school now in a holistic way, that when they come out of school, their focus will be positive and they will have a fighting chance to go on to do first degree, second degree. And we have many, many success stories of young people who came out of areas that are considered hotspots, like Beaton as an example, young lady who graduated as a lawyer. We have many, many success stories. And by the way, we don't subscribe to Louventil being a hotspot. Because hotspot is a very relative human terminology. Louventil,
it's a label also.
Yes,
it's a label also.
It's a label also. I have anybody who wants to pin Louventil with crime alone, I take them on, because that is just convenience. Because many of the hotspots in Trinidad are the areas that are considered higher income, but they are the ones who drive in the crime. But those are the real hotspots. The fellas in Louventil, they have money to import no cocaine. They are the last level of the chain. You know, so our goal is to get as many young people as possible to be able to work through their poverty or their difficulty, education-wise, social-wise, with their parents, to be able to develop into young men and women who will be proud of.
Yeah. And you said something there that then you said that the fellows in Louventil can't buy gun and things. They also can't bank kidnap money either. You know, when they pay a kidnapper 300,000, they can't bank that. You know,
yeah.
So somebody has to be banking that money.
Yeah.
And when you if a poor man has $300,000, everybody will know he has it. You know.
Yeah.
So the crime is more sophisticated and complex than they try to make us believe. But apart from that, the role of Louventil Foundation, how well is it established? In fact, where is the foundation before I get to the role of the foundation?
The foundation is situated at Upper Church Street, Louventil, and it's obliquely opposite the Louventil Seventh-day Adventist Church. It's a two-story building, and it is stationed obliquely opposite the Louventil Seventh-day Adventist Church. So that is Louventil from the Eastern Main Road. So when you're coming up the Eastern Main Road, if you're going east, you're swinging onto Church Street, where there's a Catholic church at the corner, and you're driving across, and you reach the Louventil Foundation. That's where we are. But we reach out to people, Louventil, Sealots, Beaton, all over. And as a result of that, we also have done work in places like Enterprise, Never Dirty Mova. Mova is one of our catchment areas. So we do a lot of work, not only in Louventil, but throughout. We have a men's program that you spoke at, where we have men coming in from as far as Tobago. There's a guy who comes in from St. Martin. We have had people from South Africa, England in that men's program. So we really physically, based on virtual platforms, are able to reach people all over the world.
But how come we don't know this? How come we don't know this? You are saying something this morning we don't know. How come we don't know?
Well, we
know that in Louventil though, but how come we don't know there's a group there in Louventil trying to effect social change in the area? How come we don't know?
Well, we advertise as much as we can. We have social platforms. We are involved in a lot of programs, so that most of what we do is gotten out by individual telling another individual, or platforms we advertise on, right? That's how we get the word out. So we are not as known as we should be known. But every day and in every way, more and more the word is getting out. All right, and that is the strategy that we are using. It is not as quick as it should be, but it's happening. Hold on 1 minute, yeah? I have a disturbance here. Hold on 1 minute.
Yeah. Folks, what we are trying to do this morning is to show that the social change. There's a fight against social decadence, and that fight is not only conducted by the armed forces or through government agency, but there are people who are genuine people who are sacrificing every day to continue this fight. What we are trying to do is to see if we can make this contagious, where each one will help one. If each one help one, we know we can come to the place where this was a better place. You cannot stop crime by just having more police. To stop crime through the police, you have to put a policeman behind every house. And then some of them policemen, you have to have somebody there to guard them too. So the idea of crime can be fought through military means and only governmental means. We know that's a fallacy. And that way this morning I have with us Brother Brian Jones, the chairman of the Louventil Foundation. So we can understand that something can be done and something is being done. So you gave us a wide scope. Can you narrow down that scope? Let's see. How do you see your intervention as far as this young man turned into crime? How do you see the Louventil Foundation intervention in a situation like that?
All right, let me give you one example. And this one example represents one of many. Yeah. There's this young guy in a particular area whose family, there are about 5 of them, are destitute, very destitute. But the young man that we are targeting, he's now in Form 5. He wants to be able to finish his education. Many days, he does not have anything to eat. When we met him, he was not able to go to school because he had no funds to travel. And his grades were mainly zilch because a lot of days he was not in school. He had no device because we met him during the COVID period, the pandemic period. And as a result of that, here you have a guy, he could not afford books, he could not afford uniform. His shoes were worse can be. So when we met him, because we have different funds that we work with, unfortunately, as you know, my son died last year, and we have established a fund in his name. So this young guy gets the benefit of that fund. So all his school books, we gave him a device, a computer. We give him money for transportation on a weekly basis. We give him money for food on a weekly basis, in addition to the school feeding he's getting. Anything that he needs within a certain realm, we provide for him. So what we are able to do, because of God, is to get him in school every day with his corporation. He doesn't have to worry, where will I eat? How will I get to school? How will I get books? How I will get onto the social platform? We have taken care of all of that. Yeah. So he could focus on studying and becoming the best he can become. He wants to be a doctor. Wow. Had we not intervened in this guy's life, as many others, crime will be his only alternative. Yeah.
You see what I want to say too, Brian? People miss this. You know, people keep saying, well, you could choose. Everybody has right of choice. No, you are trained to choose. When the Bible says a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he'll not depart. The Bible is saying, by your training, how you train that person will have the ability to choose. Someone grew up in your home, right? A child grew up in your home, might be able to make better choices than a child grew up in a home where the parent, the father running wild, the mother sleeping around.
Exactly.
So just simply saying, but they can choose. It's part of the ignorance that flows through the society in a big way. So what you are doing there, you are becoming a sort of parenting to that child. Yeah. Because remember, I cannot give off much more than my father gave to me. That's how we learn it, is a passing on. I pass on what my father gave to me, and my children pass on what I gave to them. Unless there's some social or spiritual intervention, we are all going down the same road.
Yes, for sure.
And sometimes somebody missed that. So you are making that social intervention, and some folks will not see it as that, but you are making that. No. As far as poverty goes, poverty makes people more vulnerable to evil influences. It doesn't make me phenomenal. It just makes me more vulnerable. So your intervention as far as poverty is concerned may be overlooked by the unwilling eye, but it is such a valuable thing that you are doing there. When Jesus said, I was hungry and you gave me no food, this is what you are doing there, So I'm saying the community in Louventil, are they aware that this is a refuge?
Yes, well, I think in the community of Louventil, particularly because years ago, the Louventil Seventh-day Adventist Church set up a preschool, which we run now. We took over, well, we being this church, but it now runs out of Louventil. And so people know Louventil because of that preschool. And because we have gone physically and created vocational training programs in Beetham, in Never Dirty, and in many different areas, on the ground, in community centers, right? People know of us and know that we are there to provide them with help. Now, we don't want to provide help where 30 years from now, Pastor Brown, you're still coming by us a dependency help. Our goal is to provide you with a short-term help, but also provide you with vocational training, because we do many different programs. We have done barbering, hairdressing, all kinds of programs. Catering, we just finished a catering program. Agro-processing, teaching people how to set up their own agro-processing program, agricultural program. Our goal.
What are the cost of these programs? Like if I want to come, how much I pay for a program this program?
It's very, very expensive, and I hope you'll be able to afford. We charge you zero.
Zero.
Because we are able, Pastor, to charge you zero because it was sponsored. That is not a program for funds that we have generated, but a program from a donor, identified donor. A lot of our vocational training programs comes from a donor outside of California, Seventh-day Adventist pastor, Seventh-day Adventist organization, non-profit, that funds organizations all over the world, right? So I really give you a loud suggestion in that alone, right? So we are not into giving you fish only. We are into teaching you to fish, because we want you to be not dependent on us, but independent of us over time. The challenge is that there is a social horror story in Trinidad called I love to wait on the government.
Yeah.
Right? And so while you are trying to encourage them to be independent, there are so many things around them that is teaching them to be dependent.
Yes.
That is a small percentage who embrace and want to come out and become independent. But if it's only for one, if it's only for that young man, if it's only for the young girl who became the doctor out of Beetham, there are success stories, and those are the success stories that are making the biggest difference.
Like I said before, these labels are intentional. Right? These labels are not done in a vacuum. The people who are making these labels, because I remember I had to drop something for a young man who was in prison, and he wanted a tablet, and I had to drop it up by Despa's Spaniard for a young girl who was working at the prison to take it for him. And I told a friend I'm going up Louventil, guy in my car, and I said I had to run up by Despa's and come back down the road, and he refused to go with me.
Yeah,
he refused to go with me, and the reason why he refused to go with me, he said, "Boy, this is a strange car. We drive up the hill there." Nothing in my mind. So I said, "So what are you saying, that no strange cars do not drive up Louventil?"
far from the truth.
Far from the truth. But you see, this is what have been sold to people. And Brian, I'm happy to have you all on this morning. That's why I start by making sure I say that the Louventil Foundation do not forget that it's out of Louventil, and do not forget that church group also. because that's the way it is. We grow to be afraid of our people, you know. When I was an apprentice in TNTech for a short time, I lived Second Caledonia. I keep saying to people, I came from Murga. The idea of pan and pan music was, to me, was ragamuffin thing. And in Second Caledonia on the hill there, every night when I'm studying, I was going to John Donaldson, and while I'm studying, I'm hearing harmonites across by where the bus route is now. I'm hearing All Stars, Duke Street, and then over the hill, I'm hearing Despers, and those music coming at me 1, 2 in the morning, and the song became to be so scintillating that after a while I said, I must see what is happening here. And I walked down by Harmonites one night, and I saw this was Earl Rodney, and I saw this man putting together this thing, and I saw these young Black people there, and I saw magic. Whatever I had in my mind about the area, this dissipated to the point that I know pan now. I can tell you the difference between a guitar pan, a cello pan, a bass pan, a tenor. I can tell you the difference. And it reached a point that I could have understood the whole arrangement. When it started the end, I could have arranged it for you. So it came. And I recognize, well, wait now, these people are growing in a melting pot of beauty that is not known. I'm in Toronto, and I spoke to a Chinese guy there in a music shop, and he's saying to me, where from? I said, Trinidad, and I'm talking about the pan. As soon as I leave the pan shop, the music shop, he said, see the Chinese guy come running after me. So he said, a lady here, she want to buy a pan for orchestra, but I tell her I don't know which one, so come and help her. No, Brian.
Yes. Point, good point.
You understand what I'm saying? Just being around the thing.
Yeah.
Just being around the thing. We did a study on culture in Port of Spain. 30,000 people passed through Port of Spain a given day. We did it for an entire week, me and 2 young ladies from UE. And we stand under Soberani statue day after day, from 10 in the morning to about 5 in the evening for whole 4 days. And when we asked people, those who could play pan, who understand the pan, the numbers, I can't remember offhand, but it's less than 10% who say they could play pan. Less than 10%. When you ask other 10%, the people who could play and know about the pan, they all came from that catchment area, Mova, Louventil, Barataria, from that area. And it taught me something about what we call culture. It's not really culture. And these people in a rich area, all we need to do is help now with positive things as what Louventil Foundation is doing. So I'm saying, when I hear you this morning, when I think about the Louventil Foundation, I know it's something good. And when I hope the Prime Minister and those who have power know that this is the way to go. Not more guns for the policemen, not more money for the policemen, not more of that. We need more of social intervention.
Right. Well said. I must let you know, well said. Well, you and I are on the same page. It's just that you are brighter than me. That we also have a health component. My Rotary Club donated a mobile medical unit, so we are able to go into communities with volunteer nurses and doctors and do health programs. As I said before, we have a preschool, and we do a lot of vocational training. Most of it's still online, right? Some physical. We do counseling for people who I need, because unfortunately I deal with quite a number of young people who are suicidal. Wow. Our men's program is a vital thing in providing men, but now, Pastor, the program biggest battle is to keep women from not coming, because the women have heard its consistency and what it's doing and the kind of programs, and they come in from all over the world in that men's program. We are having these females, and so the Louventil Foundation gives out hampers every week. Like this week, we'll give out like 100 hampers, right? We have a soup kitchen that functions twice a week, every single week, giving out giving out over 200 meals a week, you know.
Oh man, this is
Um,
good boy.
yeah, so we have given out since the program started close to 40,000 meals, right, to individuals in the community. People without those meals will be in a very dire situation. Because, Pastor, people don't realize that when the school is on vacation, for many parents, that's a horror story, you know,
Yes.
because there's no school feeding. And so they now have to find the wherewithal to feed the children, which is not something they're accustomed to because they have the government help, right?
Yeah.
So we have this school feeding and vocational training and the health component. But our focus is on youth. From the preschool, we are teaching them values, right up, as you said, the value in the home. We have had preschoolers, Pastor, whose ages are from just over 2 to 5. What do you want to become? We asked a preschooler. He said, a gunman.
Yes, I had that experience already. Go ahead. I had that experience already.
He's not 5 yet, you know, Pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Where would that come into his mind? Because we know that in his home, his father is a gunman.
Yes.
So he wants to, yeah. You heard what you said? My father, I can't pass on anything but what my father passed on to me. So this is the point.
And you see, I'm glad you said it. You said it and not I am saying it, because what happened eventually when these guys go out and commit real crimes and things like that, we talk about hanging them because we have failed to recognize what was our input into the child's behavior.
Yeah.
I was at Mango, I shouldn't call the place, but anyway, I was at a place there, and I was doing a motivational speak for children, 7 years to about 13. And I started by asking them, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? And a little boy there, his hand in the air, man, he waving as if he don't care. And after I came to, after I came, I said, what do you want to be? He said, a bandit. I said, a bandit? No, when he said it, I expected others to laugh. I thought it was a joke he was making. But the others did not shout. They will have their hand in the air still, as if he said was engineer. He said, a bandit. He was 7 years. And when I saw what they all were saying around them was simple things like a maxi driver, a policeman, a teacher. Nobody was thinking outside of those things. And the reason for that, that's how learning is done.
Yes, yes.
Now, I don't know if he's not a bandit. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know if he's dead. But one thing I do know, he did not choose banditry for himself. That's what I know. He didn't choose it. That was chosen for him based on his environment. And sometimes we miss that point. And you and me going, I hope your members who are listening, you and me going thinking that you're just doing a charity thing or no, Brian. What you are interjecting in the community there is father, mother, family, love, caring, trusting, all those things that you are injecting there. And those who are missing that, this is religion, pure, unadulterated religion that you are presenting there.
Yes.
And this is the beauty of it all, because some people feel that I need to baptize you before I can give you anything. I need to tell you about Jesus.
No.
Showing you love is telling you about Jesus, because man is not naturally selfish.
Yes.
So once I begin to show you love, I am telling you, and love not for something, love because I am given this love. I am telling you about Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. I want to tell you 3 quick stories.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Dr. Clive, that is your real partner.
That's it. Okay.
Clive Percival.
Okay.
Right? We have had situations where, like he did a crusade in Beaton some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And as we are about to start his crusade,
mm-hmm.
in the community center in Beaton, spanking facility,
mm-hmm.
police shot a guy about 2 streets away. Mm-hmm. Just as about the crusade is to start. And as you know, with Dr. Dutton, Pastor Dutton, he ain't afraid to go anywhere. Mm-hmm. And that became a challenge. But what was more important is that people feel when you go in this area, you're destined to be shot to death. These people look out for you when they know they could trust you more than anybody else.
Of course.
People miss it. When you go in beat them and they know you like they know us, we ain't going in there with fear, you know. We going in there, know they're looking out for you, you know. It's a funny kind of culturalization on these areas. So when you break that trust, you can get killed easily.
Yeah.
But when they know they could trust you and rely on you, they open their arms to you in a way that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that I did some work with some police people in Louventil Hill. We went by one of the areas by the police station of Louventil Hill. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, fellas come to meet us. They want to get out of crime. Gang fellas. When they come to the meeting in the gas station, because I can't say where they're from. You know how they came out of the car? One or two of them was in the trunk. You know why they're in the trunk? They're in the trunk because they cannot be seen in a car. Because if they are seen in a car, they could be shot to death by rival gang.
Wow.
One of the guys, this thing is so sad. One of the guys in the trunk, they said that he hadn't left his area for about 10 years. So he's in this small area, walking up and down, doing all his work in that area because he cannot leave his area. So we met them and trying to come up with a program with them to assist them to be more self-sufficient outside of drug selling and so on. That guy, after the meeting, made a visit to Port of Spain. For the first time he left his area in over 10 years. Pastor, finish the story.
Wow.
Finish the story, Pastor.
Yeah.
He didn't make it back.
Don't make joke.
He gets shot to death. He didn't make it back. First time in 10 years. Another guy, we were having a group. One guy from that group, well known, Roy, and remember that guy, Roy, and right? He was commissioned by the police, IATF, to start basic classes in BTOM, CLUX, and so on, up CLUX, various places. And I went with them and police in a convoy up a particular area, John. And we met these young guys. Some of them, I was talking to a young fella. He was shot already more than once, right? I'm talking about 16 and 17-year-old, you know, fully into the thing, but they're trying to study, they're trying to get education and get out. I interviewed a young man, and he said, "Sir, I really want to get out, la, 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 la." He foolishly heard that they were trying to broker a truce, and he by himself with a gun gone up a particular place, which I can't reveal, by himself, thinking he going to be part of a truce program. He never made it back then. So there's a sense of helplessness and hopelessness that is second to none. So we must work with these guys, meet them where they are, and hopefully one or two of them, because it's not easy.
Man, stick up in there. I'm seeing the time. Alec, you still with me here?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We want to open the line now and let's see what will happen now.
Okay, sure. Let's do that. Phone lines are open 622-4911, and the program is Victorious Lifestyle with Pastor Brown and guests. You may call in, and if you need to maybe lower the volume of your radio, would be great. And Pastor, you may continue.
Yeah. See, thank you very much. You see, when we speak about help in an area, they call that social disorganization. Meaning, therefore, when the community is disorganized, it's not just among a few. A few are doing it, but all are accepting it as normative behavior. Right. When I say accepting, they are not embracing and saying this is good enough, but they do not frown on it greatly. And because of the not frowning on it greatly, because of social disorganization, you find it easy for another young man to do what is being done.
Right.
And so it comes to a point now, things seem that they are unable to deal with it. And this is where intervention of your type comes in, because you are touching where the need, you are doing it with the very needs of the folks, what they need, what hurt, what they want. There are certain aspirations that all men have. That is to be safe, to be loved, to be happy. Those are aspirations we all have. And when you are touching those aspirations, this is when people begin to warm to you. And you see, you speak about being in. You got to be in. You cannot be out and expect people to trust you. You have to be around. They said that Jesus Christ reached out, he made friend with them, and then he bid them follow. But he made friend with them first. And you don't make friend with them by staying afar off and commenting. You make friend by going in. And folks say, we're going in a risk. There is a risk in everything. And if you are risking that you could save people, it's a good risk. Yeah, it's a good risk. I'll be listening to the commission inquiry sometime, and people talk about risking for benefit's sake. There's certain risks you can take. Anyway.
Pastor, we have a call coming in.
Sure.
All right. So we say hello, good morning, welcome. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Pastor Brown and Elder Jones. I could never tell so Ovid. Let me tell you something. Elder Jones and the Louventil Foundation, there's so much of his daughter who's married and away. I'm sure he remembers Ali and Ovid. Let me tell you, doing for the young people, Elder Jones, is so commendable, and that's what most of us need to be doing, because I think the church worldwide needs to take some examples from you. And Pastor Brown, thank you for being such relevant topics over the air every Sunday. God continue to enlarge your territories, and God bless you all. I'm listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, yes. Yeah, what she said, she called somebody name. That's your son name she called it?
No, she called Eliano. I think her daughter is away studying.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Because I find you speak easy about loss, and I admire that about you.
But it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's something.
I may speak easy.
Because when if I lost someone close to me, I don't even want to talk about it. Talking about it, I'm afraid to talk about it, especially in a public way. And I see you do it so easily, and I say, God has been good to you in that regard.
Yeah, sure. I want to say one last thing, if you will allow me, because see the time.
Yeah.
Critical in programs to come. We want to expand in 2023 God's Spare Life in a dramatic way, in the sense that, I mean, flesh and blood just using, not talking to you, it's just his spirit. We hope to partner with an institution you lecture from, right, up in the valley. Once it is finalized, we want to start a robust music program. We had one before, but on a limited basis. We want to get at-risk youth into music to get them occupied into something that they can develop their skills and generate income from as well. And secondly, we are looking for funding from the organization out of California, right? I'm going to send you the link because maybe you could apply for funding from them as well.
Okay.
Where we want to set up hydroponics, agriculture, not only in Louventil itself, because we have the space, even though it's limited, to do that, to help in feeding people, because as you know, agricultural produce prices gone through the roof, right? As well as all the councillors in the area, we do them well. And we work with them. Up to last night, Louventil got an award from the Samoa Louventil Regional Corporation, and we are working with 1 or 2 councillors to establish agricultural programs in 2023 with young men in their areas, right? There's normally a very high dropout rate for these types of programs, as well as this music program. We really want to see a instrumental band coming out of young men out of this area playing nationally and internationally. Some of the best music possible.
That's very good. The foundation have no. Somebody told me that you have also another women, battered women with children, or something else that you all deal with?
Well, we are involved, really, the South Caribbean Conference owns Myrtle's Place. And a few of us are on the board of Myrtle's Place. So we kind of partner, but they are the dominant factor. But Louventil also runs Rafa House. We own Rafa House, that's a home for children in the east. And we have helped hundreds and hundreds of children who had nowhere to go, placed by us by the Children's Authority. So we have Rafa House. The Seventh-day Adventist Church, in addition, has a home called Casa de Corazon in Sandy Grande, of which I'm chairman. And that's another children's home to house children who had nowhere to go, placed by us from the Children's Authority. So it's not only what we see. We have other subsidiary institutions that are doing things. Pastor Dutton has an organization out of Matura. You are aware of that. The Ready Center, where men who have addictions can go there and be dealt with, and so they can recover from their addiction. We have been approached by the government to open a home for the homeless, but that has not been something we want to get into. But the point is, we have many social services in different institutions to meet the needs of the people on the ground. Then we're in a better position to tell them follow Christ.
I agree with you. I agree with you. You couldn't say it better. You can't put the cart before the horse.
Yes.
I agree with you with that 100%. Trinidad and Tobago, this morning we have been listening to Brian. You want to say something on your well?
Yeah, well, all I'd like to say is thanks very much for the opportunity being here. Louventil Foundation has a website, www.louventilfoundation.org. You'll see our banking information. We always need funding, but we also are there to provide help for people who need help. Reach out to us on Facebook as well. We on Instagram. Reach out to us if you need help, not only in the Louventil and environs, but any part. And thanks very much for having me.
Thanks very much. And for those who have been supporting the program, I want to say thank you tremendously. I know both men and women, I have to say both men and women, because I have a guy who is upset with me, second woman. But those women who have been supporting me on last Sunday, it's Christmas Day, I will do my role of all those who during the year who have done fantastic for me and kept the program on the air and kept us with these blessings going. I want to thank you tremendously. Those who would like to support the program, remember the bank account, First Citizen Bank, PAT Limited, 1450203. First Citizen Bank account number 1450203. Or you can go to RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, account number 100079170324555. I want to write again. 100079170324555. You can call me at 463-4376. 463-4376. Until next week, Alex, bless for you and your family. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Appreciate that very much. And you have yourself a wonderful week. Enjoy your Sunday and the World Cup final taking place in just about an hour's time.
Thank you.
Anyways, this was the program Victorious Lifestyle. We're back to our regular programming right here on Talk City.
There's radio talk and there's intelligent radio discussion. Talk City 91.1 FM. Light years above the rest with quality discussion. No other radio